Hey guys, this is Jerry, welcome to the channel. Today we're driving the all-new 2024 GWM Cannon Alpha. This is a big ute compared to the standard ute you find on the New Zealand market. The overall dimension on this vehicle is over 5.4 meters long, with a wheelbase at 3.35 between the two wheels. And the width of this car is 1.99 meters, and the height of the top level is 1.91 meters high. So pretty big ute if you compare to, let's say, the Ford Ranger or Toyota Hilux, which are the most popular utes on the market. And today we're driving the hybrid, which is the HEV version. The hybrid version only comes within one spec, which is the Ultra. This is considered to be a top spec for the New Zealand and Australian market. On the side, there are side steps plus the Polo logo over there. 18-inch alloys are also available as standard across the range. At the front, full LED headlights, just like that. The whole front looks identical to what you can find on the Tank 500, apart from small different things over here. First thing is the logo, of course, because this is classified as a Cannon or Power in different markets, so that's why this is a Power logo. Looks pretty cool, actually. I quite like the front. It's beefy, it's chunky, it's aggressive. That's not a bad thing. On the side, the propulsion is quite strange, to be fair, for standard ute. Generally speaking, the ute cabin is quite short. They do want to make a little bit more room for the rear trunk, where this one is quite wide. That helps with the space inside, which we are going to go through that soon, so I can show you that later on. On this side, that's your fuel tank. This one is the petrol power. You do have the diesel power, which we'll go review that later. And behind us, we've got a black painted cover on the side, plus LED tail light. Again, looks nice. I love the design. We can also see the Polo logo at the back, cameras over here as well. And in terms of badges, GWM 4x4, these are all all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, whatever you want to call it. HEV means this particular vehicle is the hybrid electric vehicle or just standard hybrid. Next thing, let's go to the trunk. So press this button that unlocks the tailgate. This particular spec or the Ultra spec in either diesel or hybrid come with a split tailgate. So yeah, that's 60-40 split tailgate. Will be very easy for you to locate anything, to take heavy items in and out from the boot. And on the standard version, you get this liner over here. Of course, you can do sports bars, lead, whatever you like from the accessory list. Otherwise, push that. And the particular door feels quite heavy actually. Press that again. This is quite solid and it's not flimsy or anything like that. Now let's get inside the Cannon Alpha. Before you get in, you'll notice this storage pillar over here. It's available on both driver and the passenger side, just for your little storage. That's really nice. And for you to get in, it's fairly easy. These seats are actually electric adjusted. You can see it just like that. How cool is that? When you push it all the way forward, you can see the base, so the tilt as well. That creates a very comfort room for you sitting at the back. Otherwise, you can go all the way. That's no problem at all. On these back seats, the seat base is fairly large, so that means it's going to be reasonably comfort for anyone sort of around my height to sit in at about 178 centimeters tall. We've got the handle over here, we've got the side step underneath. So stepping in. So this is my sitting position. I've got really good amount of room. Leg room, feet space, and headroom are superb. Nothing is touching or nothing is getting busy or in the way. In front of us, small pockets, you got air vents over here, you got seated cooling and seated heating on the rear outer seats. Where do you find that at this price point on a ute like this? Again, if you want, I can push this forward, give it a little bit tilt, so it's nice and comfort for me. The door materials are really soft. Everything is sort of leather wrapped, apart from the bottom plastic trims. Some wooden-like trim over here. Again, that's leather wrapped in details. Closing the door, they are solid. Like, how solid is that door? It's so heavy and solid. That's how good its build quality is for the interior cabin. Not only that, you got this button over here that allows us to open the window at the back. How cool is that? Press this again, that will forward, and then armrest is also available. This got wireless phone charging on the armrest. this is probably the first time I ever found a wireless phone charging pad on the armrest. If you don't like the wireless phone charging, that's fine. You find 2 USB-A ports underneath. Press this, that's the cubby holder. How premium is this rear seat? Compared to any other cars, I can't think of any other ute on this market with this price tag can offer anything close to this. Not only that, you can also move the front seats forward and backwards electronically if you sit on the passenger side. Again, I love that. I love the rear of this one. And that's how the interior looks like. Again, we'll go into that very, very soon. Alright, on all the Canon Alpha, you get keyless entry, push button start, electric seats, leather-wrapped seats, for any spec, which is good. This particular spec also get lumbar support, heated cooling function, again at the front seats. That's pretty premium. Step in, this is what it looks like for my sitting position. Leather-wrapped steering, just like what you can find on the Tank 500, but different sort of logo in the center. This is a Power or Canon logo instead. The door bins are very, very premium. Leather, wooden trim, anything soft touch, everything you can imagine. Glossy black finish over here. This higher spec also get infinity sound speakers. In front of that, that's a 12.3-inch dashboard. That's pretty much got all your information if you want to control anything from your driving display, from your consumption, things like that. Along with that, heads-up display is also available on this particular spec. In the center, that's a 14.6-inch display that got all your information. If you click this, you can get access to navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus tons of vehicle safety settings. In case you want to know more about this particular screen, because they are the same as the Tank 500, I will leave a link down below. You can check my tutorial videos on that. Just like that. That's how cool that is. Let's go to the reverse. That's the 360 camera. It's got parking assistance, it's got reverse tracking, so all you need for your parking thing, even if this is a big ute, you can still locate that. Under the screen, we got nice design clock, so this is similar to what you can find on the Tank 500. I really loved all these physical buttons for your aircon, so it's going to be very, very easy to locate most of the things. Open this cover, that's another wireless phone charging. Plus, you get USB socket sort of hose that connects to USB underneath. That means you get a small storage underneath the center console. Some direct buttons over here for your driving mode, for your cooling heating seats, cameras again, and gear selector again, pretty premium. Interior wise, you got sort of air vents going through the center console and 2 cup holders, which you can remove that if you need. A deep storage console. Plus, glove box is decent as well. Another thing I forgot to mention is your sunroof. It's just, there's too many features available on this vehicle. Yeah, that's the interior. I'm just definitely overwhelmed by what's available on this interior, because no one expects a ute to have such a premium level of finish in this particular ute. And that's it. Let's go for a drive to see how this drives on the road. Right, now we're on the road. Let's go through some numbers first. The vehicle is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged petrol motor, 4-cylinder, plus a battery. So it's HEV hybrid drivetrain. From the EV motor, you are getting 78 kilowatts of power. From the petrol motor, you are getting 180 kilowatts of power. That means combined, we are getting a whopping 255 kilowatts of power. And combined torque is 648 Newton meters torque. So there's plenty of power available on this particular drivetrain. In terms of transmission, this is mounted a 9-speed hybrid transmission. On most cases, you don't feel the gear change if you're just driving as normal, as sort of a slow driving into the traffic. But if you put the foot down, you can feel the gear change on the hybrid drivetrain. The brake is quite responsive or quite sharp, and as soon as you tap the brake pedal you can feel the response instantly, which is quite different from, generally speaking, a standard diesel or petrol ute. It takes some time to get used to be fair. And when you release the accelerator, there's some regenerative braking as well, so that means that when you slow down it will recharge the battery to help with a little bit more efficiency. Speaking of efficiency, the factory claims the numbers on these particular drivetrains about 9.8 liters per 100 k's. These can take 91 in both New Zealand and Australia. I would say in real world driving it's going to be over 10, but for the size of this ute I would say it's acceptable. It's got plenty of power going on, and handles around corner is really nice actually. It's got sporty steering, suspension and all the things settings. If you swipe it down, the easy way to do it, just to comfort, to sport. When it's in sport, it's quite sharp actually. It responds as well, which you don't expect from this sort of vehicle with this size, with this big wheelbase. I think it's quite joyful to ride. And once we slow down, it's really quiet because it would be just running on EV or hybrid motor. And there are different drive modes you can select. Sport, for example, eco, four-wheel drive, things like that. Acceleration is like that, pretty smooth. The small thing about these hybrid drivetrains, just when you take off at low speed, you are going to feel that hesitation on the pedal. This is the same with the Tank 300 and 500 hybrid drivetrain. So when you take off, you want to press the pedal a little bit more on the gentle side, so it's not too pushy once a sort of response to your acceleration. But other than that, the driving on the higher speed is pretty smooth. It's responsive. If you want to overtake someone, you can easily do it. 100, 108, that's how fast the pickup is, and the vehicle feels solid. The noise level on the motorway depends on what you are comparing to. If you're comparing this to a Ranger, ꔮMore, Hilux, I would say this is better than many of the competitors on the same market or same price bracket. But if you compare this to the standard Tank 500, which is a 7-seater, proper SUV type of thing, this isn't as quiet as the Tank 500. Obviously due to its long wheelbase plus chassis and all the base at the back. Yeah, but overall you don't complain about the noise level. On the road you can feel the noise from the rear, you can get a little bit wind noise here and there. That's pretty much it. Another couple technical points of this vehicle: the front suspension is coil spring double wishbone suspension, where at the back that's leaf spring live axle. So quite different setup from the Tank 500, although they come with the same chassis, so the same platform, even the same motor and hybrid motor, but they're a little bit different, let's put it that way. Overall, I think it's fun. On the suspension level, it's pretty soft, but handles okay. I mean, I can't complain about the handling, because this car works really well on its handling part. Being a big car with such a ground clearance, and speaking of ground clearance, it's 2 to 4 millimeters on the ground clearance. This still works really well. Like on a daily basis, you wouldn't complain anything about the comfort part of this particular size of the vehicle. Yeah, just like that, the pickup, just once you put the foot down, it reacts a little bit and then it goes. You always get that small hesitation. It can be annoying for someone who are not used to it, but I guess you get used to it. On the 300, on the 500, they are very similar, identical. Same when you wish to take off. Let's say from here, I'll put foot down, just like that, that'll kick in. Of course, we don't want to go over the speed too much. So yeah, that's the way of this hybrid transmission. I'm not sure if they can improve it in the future. It's just what it is, I suppose. But when you try to maintain a speed, let's say driving on 60 on this particular road, your foot on the pedal, you just need to give a little bit gentle press, and then that maintains the speed. It's pretty good. That's got heaps of power behind the wheel. That's always ready to engage or ready to take over if you need that. And turning at low speed, it's pretty good. There's some body roll here and there. Again, just the pickup. I would say the diesel version is probably going to be a little bit smooth than the hybrid version on the gear change or takeoff, but it depends on how you value it really at the end of the day. These come with a lot more power than the diesel version. But both vehicles will offer you tow rating up to 3.5 ton, which is really nice. So not something you need to worry about for towing. So overall, the driving experience on this car doesn't feel like a big ute like this. At some point when you start driving, you feel like you're driving a proper SUV, just like the Tank 500 or Tank 300. It's pretty high on the ground. At the same time, it's pretty agile. You don't feel the rear trunk or it's too big or anything like that. Alright, speed up at normal gear. It's pretty nice, isn't it? At normal mode, that was pretty responsive. There's effortless going 0 to 100. I don't know the exact 0 to 100 timer, but many people have tested the Tank 500, which comes with the same motor, sort of same chassis, to be about 7.8 seconds each, something like that. I would say this will be quite close to that. Imagine 8 seconds something is definitely achievable. And now we're driving on a nice road, so the surface on motorway, this is relaxing. And I'm already braked 105 on the speed. I do apologize. That's how heavy or how sort of maintained, solid this chassis is. I think in terms of driving, apart from the low speed gear change, you're not going to be disappointed with its driving. How the suspension works, how the handling works on this vehicle is definitely worth its money, or even it's probably more than what you pay for in terms of the performance level of this vehicle. And another thing I forgot to mention is the visibility. Overall, really good. Nothing's blocking us at the back because there's no, canopy, things like that. Side wing mirrors are large. They are very square-ish box. So overall, not bad at all. If you're familiar with the GWM vehicles, including the tank products, you probably noticed in this particular video I disabled a couple of safety features just so I have a quiet driving experience. One thing being the cabin monitoring system. It's not the most sort of easiest safety features to live with, to be fair. It keeps beeping, and every time you switch on the car, they always come on, no matter what you do really. So people on the internet have come with the solutions. You just basically put a sticker on top of that and it makes no beeping after that because it does not see your face at all, see your eyes at all. I guess that could be a way to live with it. Apart from that, the speed warning can be annoying sometimes, but it doesn't really beep, only flashes on the dashboard, so that's totally fun to live with. Another thing is the lane departure lane keeping. I think that's way better than the original Generation 1 Tank 300 that was released in Australia. So in New Zealand, I've driven the 500, 300, and this one using that lane keeping, lane departure warning. They're mostly quite good. You don't complain about that much. So yeah, overall pleasant and happy with what this offers and drives as a package. In my personal opinion, there are some flaws about this vehicle, and of course there's no perfect car on this planet at all, but at the same time this car offers a beautiful cabin to live with, including the front and rear passengers, of course, to this top spec. I will drive the diesel one in the future. Again, another video will come on the channel if you want to know about that. But at the same time, subscribe and like, that would be really helpful for the channel. As always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.